no time to fear. Karel is so near because showtime is here. So on with the show, let's give it a go. Karel is the one that you need to know. Now it's showtime.
A landmark ruling came out yesterday. We're going to talk about its implications. And I've got a treat for you, No King Marchers. I've got a song for you to march to by Bette Midler herself. Don't go anywhere. So much more today. It is the Karel Show. I am Karel. So very glad you're joining me on this Thursday, March 26th. I know there's a No Kings rally this weekend, and some of you might be looking for a theme song to march to. We've got a couple. First of all, we've got Karel, Stronger Together. But without any further ado, let's not even... Should I make you wait? Should I make you wait for Bette Midler's new song that she did? She re-recorded an Arlo Guthrie song, but updated it for the times and released it. And it's out and it's available. And it's a great song for your No Kings rally. Should I wait for it or should I give it to you now? Let's just start with it. Let's just give it to you now. Here, without further ado, Bette Midler in a new protest song for the No Kings rally.
Hey there, all you fascists, let me put you straight. When you come for the rest of us, we'll fight you at the gate, and you will lose, you fascists bound to lose. We'll battleize together until they cut and run, just like in Minneapolis. And when the midterms come, you're bound to lose, you fascists bound to lose. Oh, you fascists bound to lose. Oh, you fascists bound to lose. I said, oh, you fascists bound to lose. You're bound to lose, you fascists bound to lose. To hell with all the cowards who hide behind their masks. We're gonna win the midterms. We're coming for his ass. He knows it too. That bastard's bound to lose. Trying to distract us from the Epstein files. You gas and beaten murderers, protecting pedophiles. Let's turn the screws. You perps are bound to lose. Oh, you fascists bound to lose. Oh, you fascists bound to lose. Mr. Oh, you fascists bound to lose. You're bound to lose. You fascists bound to lose. America, get ready. Midterms are at hand. We gotta stick together, folks, and vote to save this land. It's time to choose. Those fascists bound to lose. Oh, you fascists bound to lose. Hear that? Oh, you fascists bound to lose. Yes, sir. Oh, you fascists bound to lose. You're bound to lose. You fascists bound to lose. Say what? Everybody say. Oh, you fascists bound to lose. I said, oh, you fascists bound to lose. Yes, sir. Oh, you fascists bound to lose. You're bound to lose. You fascists bound to lose.
And that is Bette Midler with All You Fascists Bound to Lose. It is all over social media, and she wants everyone going to the No Kings rally to take it and march to it. God bless her. You know, I suggested, not that she'll ever read it, but I suggested she do a whole album. She had an album called Songs for the New Depression, and I think she should do a new album it's called Songs for the Latest Depression. But, you know, God bless her. She calls out the Epstein files. She says they protect the pedophiles. God bless her. She's 80, and she is doing her part, doing what she can do as a music artist to try to take on this regime. And I commend her. I applaud her. I wish, we don't have that right now. There is one other artist out there. I can't find his name. I saw him on the Jimmy Fallon show, and he's on social media. But he is singing anti-ICE and anti-Trump songs in a pop fashion. But we don't have any Bob Dylans or Arlo Guthries or Simon and Garfunkel's. What is wrong with this generation? Why aren't they making music that matters? We still sing songs from the Vietnam era. You know, the Beatles. Look, I am not a Beatles fan, but they certainly sang songs that defined a generation of the Vietnam generation. You know, and Creedence Clearwater Revival. There's so many bands that made these protest songs for the Vietnam War. Why don't we have more artists doing that today? Are they afraid of Donald Trump? I mean, obviously Bette Midler isn't, and God bless her. Well, when we come back, we'll have your Iran update. What was the big, beautiful gift? I think it was a giant gold finger with the middle finger up. That's what I think. A giant gold hand with a middle finger. But what was the gift?
If you're not visiting reallykarel.com daily, you're missing out. Get the podcast, videos, and the blog, including recipes at reallykarel.com. That's really KAREL.com.
Showtime is here, no time to fear. Karel is so near because showtime is here. So on with the show, let's give it a go. Karel is the one that you need to know.
Good Lord, I'm doing such a good job of acting right now. I really am. Give me an Oscar. Because all that's really on my mind is Ember. Ember woke up at 2:30 this morning, had to get up out of bed, wanted me to take her downstairs, which I knew what that meant immediately. She will poop on the patio, but she will not go diarrhea. So I knew what that meant. So down she went, and she had the soft serve poopy. Then we went back to bed. At 3:30, she had to do it again. Then we went back to bed, and then we got to the park at 7:30, and she did her normal thing at the park, but it was completely soft and liquidy, and I don't know why. She eats the same thing every day. She ate her breakfast. She ran at the park and played with her friends, but couple that with the fact that at home she's been a little different, and Steve's like, well, it's her age, but I don't know. Like, she's not in the room with me right now. She has been in this studio with me every day that I do the show forever, but the last week she's not in here. And she'll lay in the hallway outside. And then she used to be up on the chairs and sleeping in all the chairs, and now she's staying on the floor. Even if I put her up in the chair, she'll get down. Now, is that a huge change? No, not really. And it could just be age. But when you couple that with the pasty poop, and all of a sudden I'm like, is something wrong with Ember? So we'll see. My medical anxiety is not going to kick in. I'm not going to rush her to the vet today. I will wait until tomorrow. I'll see if her poop normalizes today, tonight, tomorrow morning. If it doesn't, if it stays soft serve, then off to the vet she goes. But she's eating. She's not puking. She ran and played at the park and was very independent at the park, doing what she wanted to do. All of my friends commented, like, look at her. She never wanders away from you like that, because her service dog training, she's not supposed to. But she ran across the park to see her friends this morning while I was running up the hill and left me over at the hills. Then she came back. She went and saw her friends and then came back. So she's got a little independent streak in her. Her poop is soft, and her habits around the house have changed. She's acting like it's stormy weather. She's under the buffet right now. During the day, she'll go sleep under my sink in the bathroom on the tile floor. I think because it's cooler and dark. But I don't know. She could be in pain and me not know it. But dogs in pain don't run across the park to see their friends. So I'm getting mixed messages from her. At the park, she's all smiles and happy and running and playing and wanting treats. But this morning, she had the soft serve poop. So we'll see. But that's where my mind's at right now. Like, is this going to turn into something? Am I going to have to go to the vet? What's going on? Is it going to go back to normal? Should I give her some rice and pumpkin? You know, that's what's really on my mind this morning. Because ultimately, that's all that matters to me. You know? I come here every day and I talk about the Trump administration and I talk about gas prices and food prices. But do you know what really matters to me? Ember and her health. My sister, my friends, you guys, your health and well-being. And that's why I get so... The issues themselves, I don't care. I don't care about the war in Iran. There has been war in the Middle East since I was born in 1962. There has been war. I don't care about another war in the Middle East, and gas prices will go up, but I've got a motor scooter that gets 80 miles to the gallon, so I really don't care. But I care about how it affects you. That's what I care about. I don't care about the war. I care about how it affects you, the people that I care for, my listeners, my followers, my fans. So the only reason I care about Donald Trump or what he's doing is because of how it affects you and me and our actual lives. I don't care about him. He could fucking drop dead today and I'd sing Ding Dong the Witch is Dead at the top of my lungs. I would do a scene from The Wiz. Can't you feel a brand new day? Everybody wake up because the sun is shining just for us. Oh yes, the day he dies, I'll be doing a musical. But do I care about him? No. I've encountered assholes in my life before. I'm gay, for the love of God. I care about you. That's what I care about. I don't care about Donald Trump. I don't care about the Senate. I don't care about any of them. I really don't. All I care about is how it affects you and your life and how it makes things harder, like caring for your pets. Because vet expenses are soaring. Pet insurance is soaring. You know, the cost of everything is going way, way up. So I care about the effects of the news. I don't care about the news. I could care less. You know, he talked about his big, beautiful present. We all know he didn't get a present from Iran unless they sent him a turd in a box. You know, we know that. So he spun it today as they're letting some ships through the Strait of Hormuz as a big present to the United States. That is so much bullshit because they are not letting American ships through. They're not letting Israeli ships through. So there's no big present to the United States there. He's just spinning it because he didn't get a present. You know, they want to send him a missile. So, you know, and I could care less if they do. Now, I care about our troops that he's sending and putting in harm's way. I care about their families are now going to have to worry about them. I care about my friend Eric Palicha, who is in the military, and his brother Noah, who is the commander of an air base over in Saudi Arabia. I care about them. So there's a big difference between caring about the news or just caring about its effects. The news never changes. Under Republicans, it's always recession, it's always deprivation, it's always pick on the minorities and start a war. That's all Republicans and MAGA, that's all they do. That's my entire life. Republicans come in, they bash gays, trans, bis, they go after immigrants, people of color, they start wars, they spend way too much money, and they enable the rich. They do that. They've never changed their MO. That's their playbook. That's what they do. So I could give a fuck. I'm too old to care now. But I do care about you going hungry. I do care about your kids or grandkids not having what they need. I do care about them destroying the planet. So we're sitting here in Las Vegas in March at 100 degrees. I do care about that. I should care. You know, I watched the BBC today and I said, fuck it. It's always just bad. It's my whole life. The news has never been good. Think about that. Your entire life. You know, today in 53, I'd have to check the date. But today, Jonas Salk announced that he had conquered polio. That he had, in fact, created a working polio vaccine today in 1953. He said, I've done it. I've created a vaccine against polio. And polio was decimating society. It truly was. So this was a big deal. And people clamored for that vaccine. And here we are. Let's see, 47, 67, 53 years later. 53, right? 1953, that's 47 years up to 2000 plus another 20. So 47, 57, 67. Oh, no. 73 years later. Sorry about that. So here no, it can't be that much. Yeah, I guess it can be. Yeah, well, 73 years. My goodness. So 73 years later, we're still arguing about frickin' vaccines because we've let MAGA and this demented RFK Jr. get in charge of things like healthcare, which is ridiculous. So today, in 1953, Jonas Salk was hailed a hero. Now they debate whether to take his vaccine or not. You know, so I could care less about these people. Let them not get vaccinated. Let them die. You know, I care about you and how them being unvaccinated could get you sick, could get your kids sick, your grandkids. So I really could, you know, I could really give a care. You know, I really could just give a care. Hello, Miss Ember. I hear you out there, honey. Are you okay? My girl. Oh. You know, yesterday someone gave her a vegan dog bone. She ran up to someone. They go, oh, can she have a treat? And before I said no, because I say no, she does not eat any other treats other than what I give her. The lady gave her a bone. And first of all, when I give Ember a treat, it is a itty bitty teeny tiny. I never would give her an entire dog bone. Here at the house, you know those bones I made on air the other day? I give her one of those all day long. I chop it up. This lady gave her an entire dog bone, and I don't know what's in it. She said it's vegan, but I don't know what's in it. And, you know, also I started her on Cosequin, what is it? Conjointin and one other thing. But she's been on that for 3 weeks. So could it cause this after 3 weeks? Maybe. I don't know. But, you know, I'm, you know, because that's what I care about, people. I'm so tired of not caring about the things I care about because I think you want me to care about things that I don't care about. Figure that out. But it's the truth. Some days I come out here and I talk about stuff just because I want to grow my audience. I don't want you guys to be disappointed. I want to make it more about you than me. And so I talk about things I think you care about. You know what's really on my mind? You know, fuck it. It's a Thursday. Let's just talk. Can we just talk today? We'll get to Iran and we'll talk about this enormous ruling about social media because I do care about that. I do. And there was this enormous ruling about social media. And I really want to talk to you about that because that affects you and I. But before we do, can I just tell you something that maybe you'll learn from and maybe you'll learn something about me, your host, or whatever. Yesterday, I listened to Donna Summer and I cried. So I listened to 3 of her albums yesterday. Another Place and Time, which came out in 1989, and she did it with Stock Aitken Waterman. And the hit was, I'm going crazy just to let you know. I've been around the world enough to know, baby. Gotta get my hands on you, I won't let go. This time I know it's for real. 1989. It went number 57 here in the United States, but top 10 in the UK because it was produced by Stock Aitken Waterman. Then the next album I listened to was Crayons, the album that came out after that had a great song called The Queen Is Back. But there's a song on that album called To Be Myself Again. And that song made me cry big, ugly tears yesterday. Because, hi, honey. Oh, you've come in the room. Oh, my love. Oh, my girl. My sweetness. I love you so much. Oh, you're just the biggest piece of my heart. You want to come over here? Oh, now she's leaving the room. I jinxed it. Damn it. Anyway, so there's a song on there called To Be Myself Again. And one of the lines is, what I wouldn't do to be myself again. And I've been having a lot of that in my life. Maybe you have too. I think the country is. You know, this whole Make America Great Again, they really just want to be the racist homophobes that they were before. It's sort of the same sentiment. You know what I mean? They want to get back to the way they were, which is a horrible way, by the way, but they long for it. They're nostalgic for racism and homophobia and all of that. and white supremacy. That really is what MAGA's about. They want to get back to being bigoted white supremacists. They're longing for the past. And when I heard that song, I looked up Donna Summer, her successes. So from 1977 to 1982, she was fucking untouchable. She was untouchable. Bad Girl still holds the record for the most singles, 7 singles from one album. You know, Bad Girls, Hot Stuff, Dim All the Lights, Sunset People, MacArthur Park. After Bad Girls, she had On the Radio, Volume 1 and 2. That had On the Radio, which was a hit. On the Radio, big hit. You know, other hits. So she had huge 35 hits between 78 and 82. Then she sort of had struggled. And she had a couple big hits after that. She Works Hard for the Money, The Wanderer, and Love is in Control. But nothing like her disco days. And she spent the rest of her career trying to get that back, but never really did. Never had that many hits again. And I get it. I know how she feels.
Patreon is the way to show you care. Subscribe today if you dare. Keep the show on there. Patreon is the way.
Now it's showtime.
So, because it's a Thursday and the show's a little looser, but we are getting to the social media topic, so please don't go away. So I was thinking of Donna Summer yesterday, and I was thinking and reading interviews. I interviewed her twice, by the way, twice. And when we talked, it was for Another Place and Time, the album with Stock Aitken Waterman. And Donna didn't miss fame, okay? Meaning, look, I've been famous. You all know that I've been famous. People have lined up to get my autograph. I've been taken to the best restaurants, the best seats in the theater. I've talked to presidents and, you know, world leaders. I've been in the room when miraculous things happen. I've led the St. Patrick's Day parade several times in Dublin. I've done extraordinary things because I was famous, because of my job. And Donna, the same way, of course, when she had all of these hit records, you know, the limos and the private jets and the whole thing. And it's not that you miss. And she and I talked about this. It's not that you miss. Do you know what I miss most of all? 2 things. A, the opportunities that fame gives you. I don't miss, quote, fame, quote unquote. I miss the fact that more people take your calls, that people call you to do things. When I was at KGO and KFI, we had to say no to things. We want Karel to MC this. We want him to be in this gay pride parade. Will he be the Grand Marshal of the San Jose Gay Pride Parade? Will he perform on stage in in San Francisco at Gay Pride? So they came to me. You know? Just like Donna, they came to her. Then you're no longer at KGO or KFI. Suddenly they don't come knocking. Money, you got lots of friends hanging round your door. But when it's gone and the spending ends, they don't come round no more. And so I will see the fame within their eyes. Oh, yes. So you missed the opportunity. And maybe some of you are experiencing this in your lives as your careers change, as you age. There's more opportunity for the young. When you age, you don't miss being young. You miss the opportunities that the young have. And it's the same with me. I talk to you all the time about I want to be bigger. I want to be bigger. The only reason I want the show to be bigger is twofold. A, I want more people to hear the message. And B, I want the opportunity that it presents to where I don't have to beg fucking Razroom or Nico's at the hotel, Feinstein's it's called, at the Hotel Nico, for a Thursday night to where they would open up a Friday or Saturday for me or Sunday. I missed the opportunity, and that's what Donna Summer missed. She missed the invites. I used to get invited to CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, BBC. I used to be invited to all those things to weigh in on my opinion. I miss that. I miss it. And I'm not saying that, I need it like a drug, but we are going to be talking addiction because of social media and the ruling yesterday in the next segment. And I will tell you, access to opportunity is an addiction. You get used to it, and when it's gone, you want it. Valerie Bertinelli spent 7 years on the Food Network with a great show. They just canceled it a year ago. She tried to shop a show to every kind of network she could. She told Drew Barrymore this. Nobody would take it. So she has started her own app and website called Valerie's Place. And she's doing her own show there. And it will be much more niche. But it's not, and like, I enjoy doing this show for you, and I'm sure she'll enjoy doing that. But it's not the same as going to the Food Network, going into the big studio, having all the, it's not the same. Doing this show is not the same as having my producer, whichever one. I had great producers. So, Brian being one of the best, having a producer, having a call screener, having a promotions person that's always getting me out into places. I don't have that now. And so you miss the opportunity that a bigger presence affords. And I related to Donna Summer because of the music I heard yesterday when she said, what I wouldn't give to be myself again. I feel the same way. I would love to be the Karel that I was 20 years ago. I would. A house full of people in Long Beach, by the ocean, KGO, ABC radio. I'd love that. It just doesn't exist anymore. It's not even possible. And the success that I had in radio is not possible now. Look at Hal or Stephanie Miller or David Pakman. They're mega successful, more successful than me. And yet they're not as successful as they used to be. They don't carry the same weight, the same gravitas, which means their opportunities are less. And it goes the same with aging. As you age out of opportunity because they don't offer it to you anymore. They don't even consider you if you're 62 or 63 years old. Like, I would like to start a show right now, a television show. But who gives a TV show to a 63-year-old? I'm being serious here. I have the talent. I have the ability to do a talk show on television, but who's going to take a chance on a 63-year-old? Because they want the young demographics. And many of you face the same thing in your life. You want to go pursue something, but your age puts up a barrier. And yes, you can get around it and you can still succeed and all of that. I'm not being Nancy negative. I'm just telling you that in life, we often go from a place of a lot of opportunity, a lot of exposure, a lot of good times, and then it fades. And yes, it can come back again. Look at Liza. She's 80 and she's out having a ball. Diana Ross, 81 and touring, but she's touring venues that are 4,000 seats, 5,000 seats. She's not touring in the 20 and 30,000 seat venues like she used to. Same with Cher. When Cher does gigs, it's now 5,000 seat venues. It's not 30 or 60,000 seat venues. So what's on my mind today? A, Ember. And B, how to adjust and how to reinvent to make some of those opportunities appear again. That's what's on my mind.
It's broadcasting from a completely different point of view. Yours. Listen daily to the Karel Cast on your favorite streaming service. You're listening to the Karel Cast. Driving you home or driving you crazy. It's broadcasting from a completely different point of view. Yours. Listen daily to the Karel Cast on your favorite streaming service. You're listening to the Karel Cast. Driving you home or driving you crazy.
Now it's your time.
Now, somehow my brain, part of the beauty of being me and why I'm on radio and podcasting, my brain is able to weave things together that maybe you don't see connections in. And what I'm talking about, opportunity and being aged out of opportunity, or having fame and then not, and not really missing the fame, but missing the opportunity that fame brings. It's in the news every day. Someone in my chat room at youtube.com/Really Karel just said, I'm older and I feel sidelined all the time, because you are. And they said, I still have so much to give. That's exactly right. You don't run out of stuff to give as you age. You just run out of people to give it to. Oh, that's fucking profound. But it's true. And so yesterday there was a ruling against Meta and YouTube, which I fully agree with. Parents sued Meta and YouTube saying, you deliberately designed a platform to make it addictive. And my daughter became addicted, and her mental health suffered because of your in other words, what they were saying was, you created a drug and you fed it to my children so they would get addicted. And they did. And the court agreed. This is a landmark ruling. This is a huge, huge ruling. It is the first time a court has held social media responsible for anything. Now, they're right. The whole purpose of Meta, YouTube, all of it is to keep you watching, to keep you engaged. And they have figured out how to do that. And it is addictive. And they know this. They know that it speaks to the dopamine receptors in your brain. They know this. And they purposely design an algorithm to keep you there. That's addiction. Humans are addictive. We know this. So I have been on Instagram too much of late. I have been doing too much on there, watching other people have lives. You know, yesterday my friend David Etheridge said to me, he goes, Charles, I say this with every ounce of love. I Dance Because is one of the best songs of the year. He goes, not just from you, but period. I listen to it every day. I'm your friend. I don't have to listen to your song every day. He's all, I listen to it every day. So whenever you get down and out, whenever you get depressed in the afternoon, don't just sit there, promote that record. And of course I said, Dad, I wish I could, David. I wish I could go out and sing. You know, the Winter Music Conference is happening today in Miami. I'm not there. I couldn't afford to go. I couldn't afford to throw a show, you know, all this other stuff. And he goes, you're just putting up roadblocks. He goes, it's a great, great song. You know, do whatever you can to get people to listen to this song. And I felt so honored that a friend would say that to me. But I see all these singers on Instagram who are getting hundreds of thousands of views, and I get all depressed. And then I don't do anything. I let it paralyze me. And yet I can't stay off Instagram. I can't. I spend probably an hour and a half a day on Instagram, maybe 2 hours, and I don't want to. I want to do more productive things. And I keep saying, why do I keep going back to it? That's simple. They've designed it to keep me addicted. The court said yesterday in a ruling that Meta, which means Instagram, Facebook, whatever else he owns, and YouTube, are liable for getting people addicted and affecting their mental health. It affects my mental health when I am on social media too much. It makes me feel inferior. It makes me feel less than. Makes me feel broke. Everyone's out having a grand time, going here, going there, and I'm not. It makes me feel sad that I don't have 10,000 followers or 100,000 followers. It causes me mental duress. And so I keep telling myself, you've got to not go on it. Just post your videos. Don't go on it. Don't go scroll through it. But then I find interesting things that I want to show you on the show, like the Alan Richmond video and all of that. But social media, and now the courts are agreeing, they have a responsibility for what they're doing.
If you're not visiting reallykarel.com daily, you're missing out. Get the podcast videos and the blog, including recipes, at reallykarel.com. That's really KAREL.com.
Showtime is here, no time to fear. Karel is so near because showtime is here. So on with the show, let's give it a go. Karel is the one that you need to know.
So this ruling that came out against social media yesterday, I want to see expanded. MAGA would not exist without X, Facebook, and Instagram and TikTok. MAGA would not exist. It would not have the voice that it has. And Donald Trump would have never won the elections without the disinformation and misinformation that social media allows to be out there right to this very moment. They should have to pay for the destruction of our culture. Nothing has destroyed our culture more than social media. Period. Period. Nothing. Not opiates, not tobacco. And they're calling yesterday's ruling the big tobacco moment for social media, because now the door is open. The courts have now left the door open to sue social media for things like election interference. Mark Zuckerberg knew that they were spreading disinformation about Donald Trump. Elon Musk knew that they were spreading disinformation about Trump's greatness and Biden's horror. They knew. And they knew how to keep people clicking. They knew how to get MAGA, people of low intelligence. They knew. They designed an algorithm to go after those people, and they got them. And they got those people addicted, and they got them addicted and indoctrinated into a cult. Social media created the cult of MAGA, not Fox News. Fox News didn't help. But it's social media. They are, more than anything else in the country, social media is responsible for the mess that we are in. Social media is responsible for all the assholes out there right now because they sit at home and they sit behind their keyboard and they think they can be an asshole in real life. Well, that guy with Alan Richardson found out, huh? Now, yes, social media can do good by exposing ICE. But social media was never meant to be news media. And now you rely upon it for your news stories, and you shouldn't. And it's allowed news outlets on the TV to be weak. It's allowed them to be less than because you augment it with social media, and you should not. I don't believe one thing anymore. Between AI and fake news stories, for instance, you all might have saw the feel-good news story in China about a pack of dogs that escaped from a truck that was a meat truck. They were taking the dogs to slaughter to eat. And the pack of dogs escaped, and a corgi was leading them back, leading them home, or leading them to a village or whatever. The story went global with pictures of the pack of the dogs walking down the street, these 8 dogs that escaped. The dogs never escaped. The dogs are not real. It was all AI. And yet major news outlets carried the story. It was fake. It wasn't real. And so Zuckerberg should be held responsible for everything posted. If someone slanders you on his platform and they allow it, you should be able to sue them. Because they are media companies. If a newspaper printed what social media allows to go out and be printed, quote unquote printed, they'd be shut down. Well, so should X and they should all be shut down. You will survive without it. And I hope so many lawsuits spring up because of this lawsuit yesterday that that's exactly what happens. I hope Zuckerberg has to shut down. I hope that X has to go bankrupt. He already has to pay billions, Elon Musk, because he misled investors. Social media is bad. It makes you feel bad about yourself, about your life, if you let it. And how can you not? Barry Keoghan, he was in the movie Saltburn, and now he's been in several other movies. I think he's a handsome little Irish guy. You know, blue eyes and looks like a little moppet. He's so cute. He says the hatred about his looks on social media is so debilitating that he isn't going out of the house. This is a movie star, a bona fide movie star getting big roles. And he's not going out of the house because of comments about his looks and hatred about his looks on social media. How is that good? How is that productive? And why can't Facebook and X and Instagram stop that? Why do they consider it? You know, freedom of speech is about the government. We are all under the private or the ridiculous notion that you have free speech on social media. You do not. They're private companies. They can censor whoever and whatever they want, and you can't sue them. So they could censor every negative comment about Barry Keoghan's looks, but they don't. They could censor every person on TikTok under my videos that calls me a fag, that makes fun of my lisp, that makes fun of my neck, that, you know, they could censor that. They don't. To them, that's okay. But say something bad about Trump? Do you know you can't say the word white with a capital W in a response on Instagram? I have tried. I typed a thing under one of these posts that said, young Christian white men are the most dangerous thing to the world. It wouldn't let me post that underneath a video of young Christian white men behaving like assholes. It would not let me post the video. So I had to take the word white and spell it W space H space. You can't say rape or pedophile or any of those. Nowadays, you see the words censored. You can say so much on social media, but use certain keywords and it blocks you. It doesn't let you have them the keyword. They reported on Kevin Spacey's lawsuit this morning where the producers lost because the producer was trying to get $100 million from an insurance company because they canceled the final season of House of Cards because of Kevin Spacey. They said it was because of a sexual addiction and that he was too sick to work because he had sexual addiction. The insurance company said, no, you didn't want to do it because of the public backlash against him. You could have done the episodes. You just chose not to, not because he was sick, but because of the public backlash. The court agreed. So when they're reporting on it now, if they write the word sex in the headline, they use an asterisk for the E. And yet you can go on there and call someone a horrible name. You can say they're ugly, they're hideous. Oh, you should see all the comments I'm getting because I happen to say if you want to sing in your seat at a Broadway show, go ahead. I didn't say sing as loud as you can, and I didn't say sing over the person on stage. I simply said if you're sitting there and you just want to sing, to go ahead. I have gotten called so many names by these young theater people who don't know shit, or by people who have never been to a Broadway play in their life. And yet, you know, it's ridiculous. And I know you're saying the judgment will be overturned. I don't think so. I think juries are going to start handing it to these people. And yes, I wanted to bring up that it's not just social media. Corporate America now knows how to get you hooked, get you addicted, and manipulate you. You want a prime example? High fructose corn syrup. The only reason high fructose corn syrup is in products is to get you addicted. There's so much sugar in high fructose corn syrup that it acts like a drug. and your body becomes addicted to it. And they know this. They know that sugar is addictive. They know this. It's been proven. And yet they put it in everything. Why? To keep you using their product. That's why. There are so many products from manufacturers out there that they purposely get you addicted to. And they know it. Oil. Oil is the ultimate addiction, as Iran proves. We are addicted to a substance that is bad for the planet, bad for us, robs us of money, makes us go to war. We are addicted to it, literally and physically addicted. You, just like meat and dairy, you have been manipulated into thinking meat and dairy is good for you. You have been, there is no better example of a corporation getting you addicted to things that are bad for you than meat and dairy. We know it's bad for you. We know it's bad for you. And yet they market it to you. They sell it to you in a way that you become addicted to it. The thought of going without it scares you. The thought of going without meat and dairy is so scary to people that they vilify the people who do leave it alone. Vegans and vegetarians. If you are vegetarian or vegan, you get hate. And you know where that hate comes from? The meat and dairy industry manipulating people to think that meat and dairy is necessary to sustain life when it's not. In fact, it's just the opposite. They sell you a lie, and they know it's a lie. I'd like to see them sued. I'd like to see the meat and dairy sued for the lie that they perpetrate that their products are healthy. Hot dog companies should be sued. They're pure poison. You should not eat a hot dog. It's pure poison. Every doctor agrees. Pure poison. And yet they're allowed to sell it. So almost all corporations get you addicted to their product in some way or another. They know how to advertise it. They know what buttons to push. They know what to push inside your brain. And they do it. There is a science to marketing, and they know it. Well, now social media has been called on the carpet and said, you are purposely addicting people. You are creating algorithms that purposely addict people to your product, and their mental health is suffering, and you're to blame. I want to see that lawsuit expanded. I want to see meat and dairy. Oil companies knew in a report from 1968, they knew we should not use their product. They knew it. There was a report that said, if we continue to use this product long term, this is going to happen. They ignored that report and used it anyway. That should be illegal. They should be responsible. They have destroyed our fucking planet. Oil companies, for profit, have kept you addicted to their product and destroyed our planet and suffer no repercussions. Look at the Gulf. The Gulf has not recovered from that spill. It's gushing crude. Blame old BP, it's gushing crude. And they destroyed an ecosystem and got to just go on with their lives. We need to start holding people and corporations accountable for their lies, for their manipulation, for the way that they spread disinformation and make people believe it as fact. That should be illegal. Spreading disinformation and making people believe it as fact should be litigious. And I hope we get there. I hope this ruling gets us there. You know? But food companies do it, not just social media. You know, they put stuff in the food that gets you eating it, gets you coming back. Even though they know it's bad for you, they do it anyway. They sell you products marked healthy that, you know, I saw a hot dog thing the other day in the store. On the hot dog, it said low fat. I'm like, so fucking what? It's filled with nitrites and everything else that are going to kill you. Oh, but it's low fat. Gluten-free. There's marketing that's just wrong. 98% of you don't need anything that's gluten-free. You've been sold a bill of goods that gluten is bad for you. It is not. Most of you couldn't even tell me what gluten is. If I asked you, what is gluten? Most people would say, I don't know. It's the protein from wheat. So on one hand, they're screaming, you got to eat more protein. But on the other hand, they're saying you got to be gluten-free. Well, gluten is protein. That's what it is. And you're not allergic to it. And it doesn't mess with your gut. And if you think it does, you're wrong. And I have the science to prove it. All right.
Patreon is the way to show you care. Subscribe today if you dare. Keep the show on there. Patreon is the way.
Now it's showtime.
So yesterday, the longest delays in airport history ever. And ICE just stood around doing nothing, or they were checking IDs. And so people are just not traveling. I saw an article this morning, 8 reasons to not travel. People are just not traveling. The longest wait and what are Republicans doing? Offering Democrats suck-ass bills that they know they won't pass, so they can say, well, hey, we're Republicans and we're giving them these bills and they're not passing them. Yeah. Because you also want to make it illegal for trans people to go into the bathroom in the same bill. There is no bill before the Senate that will cleanly fund the TSA, the DHS, except for ICE, the Coast Guard, and all of that. The Democrats have proposed 7 clean bills to just fund all of those agencies except ICE. Republicans have turned every one of them down. And now they're putting bills back. The Republicans say, well, here's our bills. And they're not clean. They have anti-trans things in them. They have ICE funding in them. And so Democrats are like, no. This is the Republicans' fault. Plain and simple. They could end it today. They won't. The same with Iran. Iran is like, we are not talking to Trump. We are not talking to him. We are not in negotiations. We got his 15-point plan and tore it up. We've told him the 5 things that we will need to end this war, and he has not responded. Everything out of it. And The Guardian did a great story about the grift I told you about to the tune of $5 billion. Donald Trump manipulated the market, gave out insider information an hour before. All these people went and bought stuff, and then he made the Iran announcement that the war is winding down and blah, blah, and stocks soared, and billions of dollars of profit were made. And it was because of him manipulating the market. And the world's press is reporting on this grift. That should be impeachable alone, right there. Manipulating the market for your rich friends to make money from a war. From a fucking war. On the BBC, they showed Iranian state media, and one of the things they said about this war was that nothing will come of it but grief. That's it. That at the end of the day, when all of this is said and done, the only thing accomplished will be a whole lot of grief. Grief for the Americans who have lost people, grief for the families that have to pay more money at the pumps and everywhere else, and grief for Iranians who have lost family members. That's all that's going to come of this war is grief. Donald Trump cholesterol should just take its toll. And he's lying every day now. And the press in America is the problem. Someone should sue the press. They are the problem. They are not challenging him. They are not presenting him with facts, and they're not demanding proof. He said he got a great gift from Iran. They never requested to see what it was, ever. And now today he says that gift was they're letting people through the Strait of Hormuz. Yeah, no. You lied. And when Iran said we didn't send him a gift of any kind, they spun it. He's lying every day, and those lies are costing us billions of dollars. Billions. We're insolvent. We did that story yesterday. We are bankrupt. We are penniless. These are all synonyms for insolvent. And he's spending $1 billion a day on a war no one wants or needs so Israel can be happy. And what about the Epstein files? What have we heard about them in the last 3 weeks? What have you heard about the Epstein files in the last 3 weeks? Anything? Do you know they still haven't released the additional 3 million documents? No. Did you know that the congressional hearings? Oh, we heard about Bill Clinton and Hillary going in. Have you heard about anybody else having to go in? Have you heard about their testimony? Have you seen the... No. The president is willingly wagging the dog, starting wars and creating scandals just so we don't talk about the fact that he is basically an alleged rapist of a 13-year-old girl. And it's working. No one's talking about Epstein anymore. No one. I don't know why, but it's working. And so I guess kudos to him, right? I mean it. Kudos to him. Every time the Epstein file scandal starts circling him, he gets out of it. Starts a war, invades Venezuela, removes a dictator, then wants to go to Cuba. It's all a distraction from the fact that he is gaming the market to make billions of dollars for him and his friends. He's putting money from Venezuelan oil in his own private offshore bank accounts. He is managing this fund for peace in Gaza himself, $10 billion that he's managing himself, while they drain our coffers. And they're doing all this right in front of us because they put up other things to distract us. I'd love to see accountability. You know, this lawsuit against social media was about accountability. I'd love to see accountability from everybody. I'd love to see accountability from social media for addicting us to a product that they know is bad for us. I'd love to see accountability for the meat and dairy industry for selling us a product they know is poison. I'd love to see accountability for the oil industry, for them making us dependent on a product they know is not sustainable and they know is bad for us and the planet. I'd like to see accountability in the Trump administration where they all go to jail, starting with Pentagon Pete, Donald Trump. Kristi Noem is now, who knows where she is. She should still go to jail. But we won't. So, you know, it's the weekend for me. It starts tomorrow for you. Go to a movie, go to a fight. Keith Thurman, a friend of mine, kind of, my friend's his manager. He's boxing in Las Vegas this weekend, on Saturday, I think. Go to the No Kings rally and have some fun and see like-minded individuals to stay safe. We don't know how safe they're going to be, so stay safe. Play that Bette Midler song that I played at the beginning and go and march and have a great time. I am Karel. Be who you want to be. So I'm everybody. We'll see you on Monday. Much love to you.
It's broadcasting from a completely different point of view. Yours. Listen daily to the Karel Cast on your favorite streaming service. You're listening to the Karel Cast. Driving you home or driving you crazy. It's broadcasting from a